What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. If you are watching this, it is 3 a.m. in the morning, Thursday. The final season of You has dropped on Netflix, so I have been given the green light to post my review. So this will be a spoiler-free review for You Season 5, the conclusion to one of the most beloved shows that I've had the privilege of watching for the last, 7 years now? Almost a decade. So in the final season of You, Joe Goldberg returns to New York City 3 years after his London adventures, where he is now married to Kate and living a seemingly idyllic life, but his past and dark desires threaten his happiness. He faces challenges from his past, including the threat of people looking for revenge, and struggles to reconcile his new life with his old self. Joel's new public profile, thanks to Kate's PR campaign, makes it difficult to keep his dark tendencies hidden, and he must navigate the complexities of his newfound fame and the potential consequences of his past actions. Now, despite preferring the earlier days of this series, I'm sure many of you out there would agree, I am happy to say that the highly anticipated final season of You sticks the landing enough for a longtime fan like myself to consider it an acceptable conclusion to Joe Goldberg's reign of terror. To no one's surprise, You concludes by putting the power back in the hands of those he's hurt along the way, mostly, of course, women. So there's definitely this female empowerment narrative, which if you have a problem with that, you haven't been paying attention to the show, because it's been building to moments like this, and it's very fitting, it's very suitable, and it's on brand with what we have been getting for the past several years. So we're taking down one last entertaining round of psychological drama as viewers with one of TV's most beloved misogynists until we bid farewell to Joe Goldberg for good. So again, this is 3 years after marrying Kate Lockwood. He's moved back to New York. He's being reunited with his son, Henry, and seemingly getting away with all of his dirty deeds. Joel's ultimate identity crisis, though, seems to be what will cause his final resting place. Joel's been labeled Prince Charming. People love him and Kate, which should come as no shock considering the world's infatuation with certain power couples. Kate is running her father's company now while dealing with jealousy from her siblings and an uncle, but it's mostly her sister Reagan, who happens to be an identical twin to another sister named Maddie, both played wonderfully by Anna Camp. She absolutely crushes this dual performance. I cannot wait for you guys to see some of the things she does in this role. One particular mirror sequence I'm certain will be the standout that people talk about a lot when revisiting this season. Reagan is a self-righteous manipulator, and Maddie has been her victim for years. So Maddie's a bit more of the softer, sensitive twin, and she's just been corrupted. She has like almost no sense of identity at all. Maddie's self-esteem is in the toilet thanks to her sister's abusive ways. Kate's only line of support is her brother Teddy, an underutilized character in my book, but Teddy also isn't as toxic as the others, so it makes sense. Newcomer Bronte, played by Madeline Brewer, is Joe's new obsession. She has everything he would fall for: a supportive pair of friends, a toxic ex-lover named Clayton. Her interest in literature is the most attractive trait to Joe, no surprise there. But then all of this makes Joe, or forces Joe, to make a decision. Let his old self stay dead and love his wife while she is being plotted against by her family, or pull double duty and have an affair with the complex Bronte. His decision takes us on one last gripping examination of Joe's trauma and how truly psychotic he truly has become. The writers deliver an engaging group of supporting characters this season, far more than last season, even though I'm one of those season 4 defenders. But a mid-season twist, I would have to admit, doesn't capitalize on exploring two supporting characters that are in desperate need of development, and I wish they got more screen time. That was just a bit frustrating, especially when I look back on the fact that they had such a crucial contribution to the social media commentary they are heavily involved in. But in regards to what is done well, Kate's dynamics with her sisters deliver the kind of messy drama I've enjoyed about the show. Reagan is constantly trying to one-up Kate, blackmail her, and those scenes always leave you in anticipation of what's next. It's like a never-ending game of chess. Their exchanges are always enticing. The tension between her and Joe grows with each episode. This irritates Joe like never before, since Kate is secure within herself more than Joe ever could be. Bronte seems like another potential victim. She seems like that at first, but a few scenes raise a red flag or two. Perhaps there's more to Bronte that Joe isn't prepared for, but we're forced to wait, of course, to get that answer. And it's absolute hell while Joe continues to fall, but who is trapping who? Because whether Joe cares to see it like this or not, I'd argue he is trapping these women. The identity crisis arc for Joe speaks to the season's larger themes about identity, and ironically enough, one episode is titled Imposter Syndrome. The arc itself is what solidifies Joe as the monster he desperately wants to leave behind. Bronte is nothing but a reminder of his true nature and a test to see what part of him he is most loyal to, and of course we all know the answer to that. I do think this public figure angle chips away a bit at Joe's mystique, but at least the writers don't give us endless scenes of people jumping for joy over Prince Charming. There's something more unsettling than only us as viewers and Joe's targets knowing his true nature. Plus, the public figure angle makes it less thrilling to wonder how he'll get away with this, because I know the more he's exposed, the more likely he is to be caught. But then on the flip side of that, there is an added level of anxiety to the scenes. The scenes where Joe is fighting with other people who have just as much power as he does. The scenes where Joe is fighting with individuals who could be watching him. And the overall anxiety of it, just him being so confident in his own abilities to get away with it. In the back of your mind as a viewer, you're like, buddy, you're going to get caught. This isn't 3 years ago. You have all of the eyes on you now. Something I'm sure he probably didn't want to this extent. And yet you're still behaving as though no one knows who you are. So at times when watching the scenes this season, there is an added level of anxiety because you feel like he's about to get caught. And yes, he deserves to get caught, but that's what's been so thrilling about the show so far. This idea of him getting caught, and him not getting caught has always just kept you on edge. But you're on edge like never before, considering how many people could be watching and scheming against him, which we know there are quite a few. The season's answer to what Joe deserves is certainly going to spark conversation, but I believe the writers nailed it. It's an end that speaks to what Joe fears the most, puts an axe in his desires, and replicates the damage he's done in so many people's lives over the last decade that we've enjoyed watching his madness. It's not a disrespectful or out of character conclusion by any means. What the season does fail to do is take risk. It's played very safe and expected as far as I'm concerned. Still, it's a much better season than 4, which, again, I'm one of those season 4 defenders, but I'll always prefer a more grounded narrative that's more believable. Penn Badgley is incredible as always. I don't really feel like beating a dead horse when it comes to how brilliant he is as Joe, although I will give him his props for the range he displays during Joe's fits of rage. Tati Gabriel's brief return to this series is my personal standout, thanks to a genius monologue she is given, and I'm certain many people will revisit this. Her delivery is so heartbreaking due to the context and knowing what Marion has been through, but it's also comforting when you look back on it as a tribute to not only the show, but what Joe has been doing for the past several seasons and how pivotal this scene is to Joe's final moments. Marion's pain, trauma, and everything is felt thanks to her fantastic performance. You guys have to just witness it for yourself. Tati Gabriel has always been a fantastic performer, but the pauses during this monologue, the pain in her voice, it just touches my heart, and I'm sure it's going to touch the hearts of plenty of women out there watching the show, and you just feel for what she's been through. And again, the thing that also makes it so brilliant is how it functions as a tribute to the show. It feels like in this moment we are saying goodbye. We know the end is near, and it's so bittersweet. Now, in terms of everyone else's performances, I've already been gushing over Anna Camp. She was absolutely incredible. Nothing more to say than that. Phenomenal actress. I cannot wait to see what she brings to the table in Scream 7 now that I've gotten a better taste of what she can actually bring to the table. I was not familiar with her game, but now that I have seen this, I need that Ghostface reveal. As far as the overall pacing, I would say the show's final season is paced quite well. Keeps you on edge, keeps you in suspense. It's directed and shot well. There is a sequence in the finale which I would tell you turns into a horror film midway through. And there's some shots or camera tricks where the light keeps coming in and out of focus, and you're left with suspense of who is going to come out on top, and you're going to be on edge your entire time during that sequence. It's just a very solid finale, I will tell you that. It's a very solid, poetic finale, and I am happy with how the series of You ended. I would give this season an 8 out of 10. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, and never miss a video. In the description, I'll have links to all of my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there to let me know if there's any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.